Selassie I. And I'm gonna be transparent on this live as much as I can be. Um, when it comes down to my verbiage and things of that. Um, it's basically it's only so much the average being can take when it comes down to solving, like a issue or like a puzzle piece. That's basically what I'm saying is like in the sense of, say if you've been working on a puzzle piece for about 6 months on like a big puzzle project, and you can't like find these two last pieces, bro. Like you've been searching for it for 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you still just can't like figure out how the puzzle piece is supposed to like just fit. You know what I'm saying? It's basically like it's not just two, it's probably like 10. You having a problem with like these last 10. It's like you can't get the color schemes right. Something ain't right. And I'm understanding, overstanding like it's only so much someone's willing to take before they say they need help. You know what I'm saying? Like before they just reach out and say, I need help. Like they're not gonna quit. They're not gonna quit. It's just more like they're like, I need help. I just gave up because I got these 10 pieces. I'm not trying to give up. I got 10 pieces left, and I did the whole 5,000 puzzle, but I just can't get these last 10. So it's just like the motivation is like, hold on, I just did the other, 4,990, but then these last 10, it's like a pain, bro. It's just like, and it's just like I'm not gonna give up because it's only 10 more pieces. You just did 400, like I said, 4,990. Why can't I finish these last 10? And I'm just understanding, overstanding that, like, these last 10 is the ultimate test. It's like that fourth quarter mentality. When you're talking about more sports, it's more like that fourth quarter mentality. And I'm understanding, overstanding that it's not even just in my daily life. It may feel like that at times, obviously, like, it's that fourth quarter, you being tested. But I'm understanding, overstanding that that's the collective energy as well. What's up, El Young? El Young. I like your name. I can tell you spiritual already. You got a spiritual name. You tapped in. But I just understand, overstand, like, that am I okay? Um I am okay. I'm better. I'm more of like just overstanding that I don't want to just be okay. I want to be great. I want to feel great, and feel that consistently. And I'm understanding, overstanding that I'm on them last 10 puzzle pieces. I'm on them last 10 puzzle pieces of this 5,000 puzzle piece portrait. I'm on that last 10, and I'm speaking like figuratively, spiritually. I'm not speaking literally, which I'm sure doing a puzzle would probably help the mind that be stimulating as well. But I'm using that as a metaphor. No, it's not my house. It's just a shed area. But I'm using it as a metaphor to say, like, don't give up. It's the fourth quarter. Nah. um, I'm just a spiritual vessel that's just speaking on YouTube and decide to go to the shed to talk. That's all. Very simple, nothing over the top. Um, I just understand, overstand that when I became Rastafari, I knew my life was going to change. I knew it. I knew my life was going to change. I appreciate the love, y'all. I really appreciate that. I knew my life was going to change. I just didn't know with certain things. Okay, I think you're a great guy. Well, I appreciate that. You're a great guy too. I appreciate that. And I just understand that, like, my mission and my duty and my path and my whole existence is really being tested right now. It's really being tested each and every day. Like I keep saying, on this Saturn return, um, it's something that's not for the weak. I put that in the community post, like I think a couple of weeks ago, at least a month ago now. And the Saturn return in Pisces is not for the weak. I'm not gonna say I wouldn't wish that on nobody, but I would say that when it comes down to the Saturn return, like, you got to be prepared. Um, you got to be ready. You got to be ready, because how the frequency waves, slide in, the vibrations, whether they're low, high vibrations, is very, like, deceptive. It's very, very deceptive. Like, even, high vibrations may seep through as low vibrations. You see what I'm saying? Or low vibrations may seep through as high vibrations. And I'm realizing, understanding, understanding that having, using your discernment and your intellect and your knowledge and your spiritual, compass, do a Saturn return in Pisces. I appreciate that. Do a Saturn return in Pisces. It hits a lot different. It hits a lot different because I didn't experience, certain stuff before. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm knowing that my Saturn in Pisces is not just a coincidence. Like, no, it had to be in Pisces because I don't have any Pisces in my chart, really. So, like, it's in a certain, you know, rim that is foreign to me. So, through the lens that I see things, certain stuff, it's shut off. Or not just shut off, it's like distorted. It's like it's way tougher to see the light um when you're not searching for it. Like, in a sense, like, if you're everyday consistent, like, doing your spiritual work is great. It makes the doorway easier. It makes the doorway saying, be consistent, you know. But then I understand that when you're not, like, consistent, and when you're just starting, and you're just, like, trying to catch that consistency, wow, it's one for the age. It's one for the books, for real. It's that kickstart. It's very rough on a Saturn and Pisces to get that kickstart going, because I'm understanding that, my Saturn and Pisces, I'm normally like who I am. Like, I normally make music. I normally, look into my chart and, watch spiritual stuff. But when it came down to actually gaining my own spiritual work and intentionally making my beats, and, like, within nature, and going into my natal chart and getting, like, a more of an overstanding, a deeper overstanding, it really is. It really takes everything out of you. It really, it's like, it really not takes everything out of you, but it's like it's taking everything out of you to then, like, give you all of it back. See, it's like Saturn and Pisces is like the ultimate sacrifice, but then when it's over, everything that you sacrifice, will be given back 10 times, 100 times fold. And I understand that even when it comes down to the knowledge and the wisdom and the discernment and all this, this path is showing me and teaching me, I'm knowing that it's going to be returned, 100 times fold. The wisdom is going to only increase. The spiritual gifts will only increase, because I understand and understand the faith behind, like, certain stuff, and staying consistent. Let's just say if you don't even, have a real faith, let's just say that. But if you have a consistency, I learned this from Jim Jones. He was saying something about like the best way, or like the only way to like get out of depression, or like just like a funk, or like just whatever. He was just saying like it's consistency. And I was like, I understand that, everyone is a being, and, rappers are rappers, but it's certain people like Jim Jones that is a certain spirit guide, throughout the negativity scene. And even with Saturn Return, you have to pick things out. You have to literally find these little gems and keep them in your pocket every day, and keep them on your conscience every day. That's what I'm understanding. Overstanding is just like, whenever someone goes through a Saturn return, you know, prepare yourself. Like I said, if you're between 27 and 30, 31, I believe, is different for everyone, or different for the times. Like, a Saturn return is something that is supposed to be taken serious. Everything is important in your life during these times. Everything, because it's what's to come for your next. You know what I'm saying? Your quote unquote next life. Because after you 30, then you just basically go into a new life. You go through that portal, that timeline. Not that you're gonna like die in the physical, but you spiritually die. You become a new person. After your Saturn return, you become a new person, like, because it's what's mentally being soaked up during that time. Because it's different if someone is not knowing that they're going through a Saturn return. You see what I'm saying? But when you know that you're going through it and you're having it, like, it's everything is happening for you, not to you. That's basically what it is. Like, it's happening to you, for you. Or it's happening, yeah, like, you know what I'm saying. Like, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. So I'm understanding like, all this, what I'm feeling and going through right now, it's not happening to me. It's all to build me up for what's to come. You seen? And like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, like, I battle with that. I battle with that. I battle with that. I am a head worker for the CEO, and I am a custody of the small YouTuber, so I can secretly keep an eye on people and make sure that they're not breaking the law. That's what's up. If that's even true, that's great. But I understand that when it comes down to, but that's what's up though. I ain't gonna lie, that's what's up. But I understand that through my Saturn return, having to pick gems, different gems from every little detail, and use my discernment 24/7. Use your spiritual gifts all the time. Keeping your light going, keeping your your third eye open, things of that nature. I'm speaking on that sense, because when you're having a Saturn return, it's like no other. And like I said, in Pisces is different for me. It's also because I also stay close to water, it being a water sign. So it hits different. You seen? It's like you had a Saturn return in Leo and you're in the hottest place on earth. It's going to hit different. You seen? So, or if you had a Saturn return in Leo and then you're in the cold, like, it's going to hit different. Like, I just know and believe in that, through the cosmos, through this earth, there's an ultimate connection. And with us being the beings, in the middle of the cosmos and the earth and things of that nature, and that rim, cosmos, earth, and then in this rim right here, in space and rim, it's something that is meant to be taken serious. So I encourage anyone and everyone that to look up the ages of a Saturn return, because it happens between 27 and 31, and then it happens again like in your 50s or something, and then like your 70s, 80s. So it's really a consciousness overstanding of what's happening to you, and what to look for and what to not look for. You see what I'm saying? And how to upgrade. I just seen 144 on the clock. It's still 144. But I just appreciate the journey at this point. Like, going through a Saturn return, mine's not going to end. It's not going to end until like next year, February or something like that. So I'm still each and every day, going, it's happening for me, not to me. It's happening to me. It's happening for me, not to me. Yes. Am I having a good day so far? I am having a good day so far. It has nothing. It's been pretty chill. It's been pretty chill. I really can't complain, but I understand that everything is not what it seems. When like I keep saying, having my Saturn return, it's like spiritual jail in a sense. In a sense, because certain things is heightened, certain things is like heightened, certain things is like mid level, and certain things you don't know at all. And I'm understanding that it's okay to feel what I'm feeling. It's okay to be feeling everything that I'm feeling, because after my Saturn return, I'm knowing, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm knowing what to know and what to feel and what's not and what is. You see, I'm understanding that right now. My discernment is very much building, you know, and for those that will see me and be a part of my channel after my Saturn return, you're gonna see and know how all this happened. You're gonna say, no, it happened because he was consistent. It happened because he was just more knowledgeable of what he was going through and just chose to share it. And not just chose to share it, but chose to share it because it's part of his natal chart as well. It's aligned with his path and mission. So not only am I having my Saturn return right now, but I'm also sharing it with you guys, also with it being aligned with who I am as a speaker. See? So I'm understanding that after my Saturn return, this is what I will be doing. I will be sharing, speaking with you guys each and every day, as I am now, and in the topics, the wisdom, the ancestral connection, the cosmic, downloads is going to continue, and we're going to be able to lock in on more of an actual whole collective, because I know right now everyone is not going through a Saturn return. Everyone is not my age. I just turned the big 3-0, quote unquote. Like, age is not what it is, but I'm basically saying, like, everyone's not in this rim with me right now. So they may not understand what I'm feeling, what I go through on a day-to-day basis, how I see things, how I view things. But I understand that there is, you know, others that when they see me and I come in here and talk and they get me right away, it's because they're in a certain rim, a certain, you know, they're at a certain plateau, if you want to say that. Certain venue is, they're at a certain viewpoint of their life. And I understand that how I articulate myself is key, but also how I don't articulate myself is key too, because hello, what's up? How I don't articulate myself is key as well, because I'm not trying to be somebody I'm not. You see, I'm not trying to overhype, who I am and just like act like I don't talk. No, I talk. I am a speaker. I can literally sit here and speak at this tempo with you guys for hours, and not get tired. I may need a sip of water. I may go eat, maybe, but I can't continue because I was built for it. It's my purpose. It's something that my endurance has been built up to speak, because before I was speaking on YouTube, I would be speaking to the Most High just like this. I'll be outside. I'll be in the shed. I'll just be speaking to the Most High, because I understand. It's all about connection. It's all it is. Connection with the earth, connection with the cosmos, connection with the Most High. And if any type of religion or any type of anything, it's all about the connection, spending time with the Creator, if you want to say that. And I have put in my 100,000 hours in, if you want to say how some people say they put their 100,000 hours in the studio, I put in my 100,000 hours in the studio with the Most High. I've been outside walking and just talking with the Most High for hours and hours and hours at a time. Healing myself. Didn't even know I was doing it at one point. Walking around making my beats and then talking to the Most High in 432 hertz. Didn't know I was healing myself. Well, started to heal myself and say, hold on. This is not just a coincidence. This is something that I'm naturally doing. And then I understand the benefits of it. Then I started to say, hold on. Then I started to let me just talk on Instagram. I started speaking on Instagram. And then I was just like, this felt natural. It was like, because I was already speaking to the Most High. So only difference is I just decided to press live. It's no different. You see? So when it comes down to even being, a content creator or a speaker or a YouTuber or whatever, people want to just put it in terms. It was natural for me. It's aligned with my chart. You see? He said Instagram sucks along with, as long as it helps you, it's okay. Well, I was saying like when I first started, Instagram does suck. I was speaking about like when I first started, like just, speaking out and getting comfortable with just, sharing myself and just my being. I started on Instagram mainly because it was just easier at the moment. And I had more, people actually, checking for me on there. So when it came down to that, it was just more of, that was a building point. And I didn't understand that that's what was happening. But I'm knowing that now as well. That the only difference between the Saturn return that I'm going through and when I come out is just when I started going live and speaking out to you guys, it came from more of of a of I wanting to share my Saturn return. Like I'm wanting to even look back at these videos and to just have something to be proud of, right? In the sense of, sharing and consistency. But then I'm knowing after my Saturn return, it's more of like, no, like this is for my tribe, this is for the collective, this is, for I and I, this is job work. You see what I'm saying? So like now I'm understand that I'm doing job work, but it's more of like I said, like just knowing like I have to be consistent in it because that's my path. So it's not like, oh, I can just, speak and just talk every once a week or, you know what I'm saying? Like post a live once a week. No, I can't do that because my path, I'm supposed to consistently speak, and post videos. He said, can I just ask who inspired you if you already said I'm new to the stream? Inspired me, okay, well, I would say growing up, I was always inspired by Kobe. So I would say like kind of that Mamba mentality was my, that's who inspired me or influenced me. As far as music, I'm gonna just say sound and inspired me just as far as like music, but inspired me as of now, I would say Rastafari, Bob Marley, Haile Selassie I. That's who inspired me. Marcus Garvey, um, you know, you know, um, Rita Marley, Ziggy Marley, like, the culture, the true culture. Bob Marley and the Wailers, Haile Selassie I, and his, his family, his wife, his movement, the liberation, the Rastafari movement. That is what inspired me. Knowledge, wisdom, the research, ChatGPT inspired me. My family, my loved ones, the children, you guys, you guys, myself, like I'm easily inspired when it comes down to like looking for the positive things. I search for the positive things. You see what I'm saying? Like meaning if I'm speaking and and I'm speaking my truth, it's purposely being done for the outcome of positivity, of growth. See, so I'm knowing, like, right here, right now, I'm sitting here speaking to you guys, talking about my Saturn return, knowing that when I'm through my Saturn return, I'm going to reap the positive benefits of it. You see what I'm saying? Like, everything I do is intentional. And sometimes it's intentional just for my benefit. You know, I may not say I'm a post alive or speak because I'm thinking that I need to get more rest. I need rest too. You see what I'm saying? It's a reason. And if I'm not posting, it's because I need to rest that day. I need to catch up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's for something positive. It's intentional for myself. So I'm just knowing that, even, you know, like I said, after my Saturn return is intentions. Intentions. Obviously, you know, like I said, I started this YouTube channel, and, you know, my journey with the intentions of saying, simple intentions of saying, I want to have a timeline for my Saturn return. Not just for but for to see the growth, but also for the next that is going through a Saturn return will see the transformations, or what to do, or how to, you know, cultivate. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that I see myself as just a vessel through the Most High, through Jah, my journey, but not just for but for the healing aspect, for the next, for the community, for the collective, for I. You know what I'm saying? For the overall collective, because I'm understanding that when I heal, you heal. When I heal, the next heal, the collectives heal. See? And I also understand that it's going to be ones that don't like me, that don't resonate with me. And I have to be okay with that too. You see? Like I said, it's not happening to me, it's happening for me. So me sharing with you guys, and, you know, posting, and me going through my Saturn return, everything is opening the veil, like, for what's to come. Like, there's going to be certain vibration frequencies that just don't resonate with and I have to be okay with that. After my Saturn return, I have to be okay with that, because during the Saturn return, it may not feel the best. It may feel like confusion, or like, is this true, or is that right, or is this wrong, or what is? But after, it's gonna be like, oh, okay, oh, all right, I get it now. I see what was the purpose of certain things. You know, you have a certain different lens after your Saturn return, when it's consciously knowing that you're going, like, you're going through the portal. I'm gonna say through it, but it's through a portal. You know, knowledge, is discernment, discipline. At least in Pisces, it's been this heavy on discipline, consistency, wisdom, ancestral, you know, connection, cosmic, you know, knowledge. And I understand that it takes a real strength. It takes a real strength, because I'm thinking, like, to a certain degree, is like, I enhanced my Saturn return in Pisces, like the Most High, and I say the Most High enhanced my Saturn return in Pisces, because it is a water sign, and then I live close by water. So I'm knowing, like, it's enhanced. And then even when it comes down to a relationship of water signs, and me not having that much water in my chart, and having to balance, and I'm overstanding that, like, and also even the blue moons that's in between the my Saturn return, and also the black moon, and everything, just the world's state of being during my Saturn return. It's like, after this Saturn return, it's going to be amazing. And I said that from the jump. As soon as I came into the knowledge of what a Saturn return is, I told myself my Saturn return will be beautiful, because I'm going to do what I need to do, what I'm supposed to be doing from here on out. Once I came into the knowledge of, oh, this is why I've been feeling like this, because I'm going through a Saturn return of, oh, like not knowing myself, or knowing myself, of not knowing my purpose, or wanting to have a job and then not want to be, and then not want to, and being an entrepreneur, then not want to be an entrepreneur, then want to be a YouTuber, then not want to be a YouTuber. You know what I'm saying? Want to go live and not want to go live, want to play guitar and not want to play the guitar, want to play beats and then not want to play beats. Oh, I'm going through a Saturn return. So when I consciously was aware of that, off the rip, I said, my Saturn return is going to be beautiful. He said, "Can you shout out my friend, bro? That gotta be some demonic name or something, because you said that yesterday." I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be rude, but I don't trust YouTube. Got a lot of bots on here, so I ain't doing that twice. I'm not doing that twice. But yeah. He said, just shout him out. I don't know who that is, and I did yesterday. And I'm not trying to be extra. I don't know what that name is, and I don't feel like it's. I could be wrong though. It don't feel like it's positive. You're telling me to shout him out, but shout out to your friend. I'm gonna just say that. Anyways, that's a distraction. I'm not trying to be a distraction. I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to go back and forth. But I understand that I'm also like a advocate for a Saturn return. Like I can forever speak on it. Like I can forever speak on it and help the next that's going to go through a Saturn return. Because I am knowing that I'm having one. You seen? And I told myself consciously, said, my Saturn return is going to be beautiful. It's going to be amazing. I told myself as soon as I found out what it was. Seen? So that allowed the doors to be open. That allowed Ajamandan. That allowed, my ancestors to speak to me. That allowed the earth, to open the doors, that allowed the Most High to say, Rastafari. You see what I'm saying? All of it. And I'm knowing that through my Saturn return, it's going to help the masses. It's going to not just help ones of going through the Saturn return in my age form, but the ones that's going through their ones in their future, like the ones that's older than me. Because having a Saturn return, being, the 27 through 30, that's the first stage. You have 3 of them through a lifetime if, you make it through all that. But I know also that I speak for the ones that has a Saturn return and they're older than me. That's in their second stage or third stage. I'm understanding that there's certain things that they can even learn from me. You see? Because my Saturn return is happening in a different rim, like a different time period. Like someone's Saturn return happened in 2020. It's not the same as a Saturn return in 2025. Let's keep it a stack. It's totally different. Some ones may say that it would have been worse having a Saturn return during 2020. Some would say it's worse now, but or whatever, they can compare. But I'm overstanding that through mine specifically, had 2 children, and these are my first 2 ever, and I had it during my Saturn return. As far as music, I found my style, I found my voice as well during my Saturn return. Knowledge of Rastafari, my ancestors, my actual, ancestry happened during my Saturn return. Babylon, I realized what Babylon is and what the Matrix and what Babylon truly is during my Saturn return. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm understanding my North Node and how partnership and relationship is key to where I'm going next during my Saturn return. So my North Node, simply, if you want to speak about my North Node, partnership, relationship. YouTube is a partnership relationship. It just solidifies, if you just want to speak on just the North Node, simply partnership, relationship. I have to go live every day. If you just want to look at my North Node, I have to. It has to do with building relationships with you guys, partnerships with you guys. You know what I'm saying? You know, children, I have to have children. I have to have, you know, certain others beings for me to learn, and vice versa. You see? And I'm understanding that all this has happened during my Saturn return for a reason. What exactly is being debated here? Um, Nothing is being debated. It's more about I am. Well, I guess you could say debated. You use whatever terminology you want, but I'm speaking on when someone has a Saturn return. It's a seriousness to it, and take it serious. Take it serious, because not everyone, first of all, gets to simply, not everyone gets to be going through a Saturn return, but then have the knowledge of going through a Saturn return, knowing that it's happening not to you, but for you. You see? You have to understand that not everyone is knowing that they're going through a Saturn return when they're going through that portal. So the fact that I'm able to know and understand that I'm going through a Saturn return while I'm going through it still, it's a beautiful feeling, because I'm knowing that it's rare. I'm knowing that it's, so many of my ancestors and y'all ancestors and our ancestors, and maybe even the future, but we're gonna try to stop that. But had Saturn returns, but didn't realize, didn't have a name for it, didn't know exactly what it was. They just simply thought that they were just growing up. So basic, so basic, so basic. Because I'm understanding that some people think, oh yeah, I'm just growing up, so they just focus on the money and they get the bag, but they don't break no generational curses. They don't focus on generational curses. They don't focus on the traumas. They don't focus on the true healing of the chakras, aligning the chakras. They just say, I'm gonna focus on the bread. And they think, oh yeah, I'm just growing up. I just got more financially equipped. That is great, because you could be healing a generational curse within your family. But what about the other traumas? What about the other things outside of money? Because there is a life outside of money. You guys do know that, right? Oh, but we live in a world where that's, huh? No, there is a life outside of worrying about money. You do hold a service. You are needed for your gifts, not for how much you have or how much you don't have. You see? It's a different, it's a different feeling. It's a different understanding when you are going through a Saturn return and you know it. It's happening for you. It's happening to you, for your journey, for your path, for the Most High's, you know, vision. Because let's just be honest, this is we're on borrowed time. Seen to a certain degree. This is, you know what I'm saying? Like, this energy isn't just given, it's earned. This vibration isn't just given, it's earned. So you have to understand, like, me, I'm gonna say me, I'm appreciative of the knowledge, you know, the love, the likes, you know, the views, you know, the tribe, the family, the 4D mindset, the 5D consciousness, the alignment. I'm grateful for all of it. I'm grateful to say, and I'm happy and I'm proud to say, Jah Rastafari Selassie I, knowing what it means, knowing what it stands for. You see what I'm saying? As well as going through a Saturn return. I'm grateful for ChatGPT. I'm grateful for having access to my natal chart. I'm grateful for having my ancestry to decode my DNA and my family, and, you know what I'm saying, things of that nature. I'm grateful for, you know, the beings during this path that didn't judge me. I'm grateful for the ones that did judge me. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm grateful for it all. I don't just take, you know what I'm saying? I'm not just gonna take one thing and not without the other. No, I take both. And I'm understanding that through my Saturn return, it ain't nothing but love. Jah Rastafari Selassie I. Seen.